Good evening, folks. It's good to have you on board for our part one of a 7-part 14-hour course that I'll guarantee you will help you become a very better trained, better prepared entrepreneur to have a sustainable business. And if you pay attention and we work hard together, in a few months, there's a good chance you can have a business up and running. Or if you're already in business, that we can move it up to the next level. It's just up to you to tell me where we need to go with this. My name is Steve Carver, and it's a pleasure to be with you. This is my presentation number 1063 on my journey along the entrepreneurial road. And I'm glad that you're joining me and becoming a part of the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. And I thank you for letting us join you. We'll try to work as a team, get a lot done, and make a lot of things happen for you. Business ownership is always about planning. It never stops. It never stops planning. There's always a need to do something else. There's always a surprise coming for you. I've certainly had my big surprise this week. I'll tell you about it a little later, but things are always changing, so we always need to be learning. Let's all be very thankful for the Small Business Center at James Front Community College in Kenansville, because they're making this work for us tonight. They've hired me to share this information with you, and so it's facilitated by the Community College Small Business Center. And the number one person there is Joy Wynn. I haven't had the pleasure to meet Joy because she's new on board, but it's just got a fabulous reputation of helping people all the way through Eastern North Carolina. So Joy, we're looking forward to working with you, and I want to encourage all of you to look forward to setting up an appointment, joining business with Joy. It will be just like you have extra employees to help you in your business. Her administrative assistant is Tanya Braswell, who is very capable. She knows the system very well and can help you and help Joy help you. So you see the phone number there, 910-659-6000. Give them a call if you're ready to set up an appointment. Go in and get more information on how to help get your business up and running and what resources might be available to you. Kenansville is over in Dublin County. So if you're in that area, that's fine. But if you're not close to Dublin County and want to know where the closest small business center is to you, all you have to do is drop me a note right there in chat. Let me know your home address and you'd like for me to introduce you to the director closest to you. I'll be glad to do that, and they will be happy to help you as well. Joy and Tanya's center is in a really nice location just outside of Warsaw, beautiful building there. I'm not quite sure where the office entrance is. It looks like it may be here, but it's a nice building just outside of town, and you can use your GPS to find 946 Penny Branch Road. I've been there. It's a very nice facility, which you will find very comfortable. I'm not a lawyer and not an attorney of any type, not a CPA, but I am a fellow that's been in business for 64 years. Lots of businesses, still very busy. Matter of fact, today is one of the busiest days I've had all year long. I started at 5:45 this morning and still at it. Took a 20-minute break to get ready for this. Norma bought lunch to me here at my desk, so I put in a full day, and always glad to give you free advice, tell you about my mistakes and my successes. But the main piece of advice I want to give to you right now is, as we start down this journey, as you start down your journey into entrepreneurship, always get a second and even a third opinion from someone that's got some sense, knows a little bit about your business. Don't be afraid to ask for help and for opinion. You don't have to take it, but you owe it to yourself to have the benefit of other eyes and ears looking at what you're doing, because if you haven't been here before, there's no way in the world that you have any idea to all the options that might be available to you. So that's the best advice that I can give you. A little bit about me, because we've got all new folks with us tonight, except for one or two. My name is Steve Carver again. I'm speaking with you from my home office and studio over in Dunn in Harnett County. Been in business for 64 years. My main business now, what I spend most of my time doing in the mornings, is selling implements to customers all over the United States. Implements being those tools that go behind tractors. Some people call them tractor tools. Mowers and tillers and hay balers and hay rakes and things like that. That's what I do. I sell on the internet from my website and ship all over the United States and write most stuff down in Puerto Rico, actually. So you'll hear a lot about Carver equipment. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything, because very few people that attend the webinars are in the market for farm equipment. But I will be able to show you lots of different ways and things that you can do with your website to make it work and to get people to buy from you. When a little guy like me in the little town of Dunn, North Carolina, can be a nationwide player and the leading sales dealership for a lot of these different implements, that says I've learned a little something through the years, and the customers just like it. And what I enjoy doing is sharing it with you. So that's why I mentioned this. I've had a commercial mowing business. I've mowed over for 12 years. I own a mowing business, mowed over 3,000 apartments a week in 21 different towns in North Carolina. So I know that business well. We also did government contracting services where we did different chores, including mowing at Air Force, at air bases for the federal government, FAA. I've done military contracting contracts, looking after motor pools for vehicles that were going to Desert Storm. I actually did that down at Fort Bragg, now called Fort Freedom, for a number of years. So I'm operating here in Harnett County, right here where the cursor's drawing a circle. So not too far from Dublin, and not too far from any of you guys that have been talking. Always glad to see you. Greetings to you and your family from my family. This is my bride, Norma. We have a lot of children, 12 children and 14 grandchildren. We bring in our collective passes, and got one new great grandchild. 5 cats today. I don't know how many will be here tomorrow, but 5 cats today, and Otis, our English bulldog. So always drama going along here. It's like any small business. There's always drama going on, and we love it. And send greetings to all your family and best wishes for a wonderful fall season. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to go steady with you for 7 weeks. I'll even send you a ring if you'll promise to go steady with me, because we've got serious work to do. And the more serious you are about it, the more benefits that we can get into it. I don't make you a commitment to work really hard, and you'll see that. It'll be evident to you. And if you want to take advantage of that and work with me and the rest of the people in our class, we're in this together, and we can get a lot more done together than any of us can by ourselves. So we got 7 weeks with a lot to talk about, and you'll be getting lots of different things to do. Tonight, basically, is just thinking about getting started, getting our mindset together and trying to get the energy and get ready to do it. But after the first 7 nights, you'll have the opportunity for 5 more Wednesday nights, which will go into another course that you can follow up with, where we'll talk about topics more in depth, digging deep into the DNA of being an entrepreneur. The first 7 weeks are basically the core topics, but after that, we'll keep right on learning, right on up to right at Thanksgiving, and look forward to, hopefully, you'll be able to attend as many as you possibly can. Attending the webinars, you're welcome to attend one and come back whenever you want to. We're always welcome to you, or you're welcome to attend each week, once a week. Where the good news is you can attend all of them, and I'll be doing this on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, so you can come back and review and get more information. Let's say you have questions about what we do tonight, and you'd like for me to spend more time on a certain topic. You can send me an email in the morning and tune in tomorrow night when we're going to do the same lesson again, but we'll speak about your particular issues, and I'll spend more time on it. Again, that's the beauty of this program. what is going to take the most interest you and help you. That's what we want to do, and that's why it's important that you give us the feedback about the type of business that you're into and how far along you are with it, and then we can do a better job for you. You have a chance to win a lot of certificates and awards, and they're very pretty and they're frameable, and we're certainly proud to offer them to you. Different achievement certificates are available to you. If you attend at least 5 of these 7 classes, including number 6 and 7, that will automatically win you an achievement certificate. Whether you do any homework or not, you just have to pass an open book quiz, but you don't have to do any homework, but we'll be always happy to do it. But if you do your homework, then you can actually graduate instead of just achieve. I'll send you a graduation certificate, and also that will automatically bring you into the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates, which you can take that certificate and $1 and go pretty much and buy a cup of coffee anywhere you want to. But it does look good, and you will be very, very proud of it. But to get there, you don't have to do some homework and dig in and really get into this and take it serious about moving your business. And then if you go above and beyond, we have an extraordinary achievement award that we're always happy to send to you. Your handouts, which one of you already told me you didn't get, but the handouts for tonight are number 1063, which is the talking points we're talking about right now. Tonight's handout is patterned after the book I wrote, 20 Things That You Must Know Before You Start a Business. So it's kind of like the manuscript of my book. Also, you're going to have a handout that's the 40 Main Street Smart Drills. And these are tips and strategies that I've got videos there for you. And we'll take these up every night. We'll do 5 per night, 5 or 8 per night, and so that you get a gist for them. But the real good comes from them when you apply those yourself on your own time and learn them and make it work for you. I want you to understand what a marketable profit center is. I'm going to give you a list of 50 businesses that you can start with $100 or less, which might give you some good ideas. And an MVP, mission, vision, and promise statement will be very important for your new business. So I've given you a handout in the study guide that helps you know how to do that. Some of you may be wanting to think about borrowing some money, so you got a fact sheet there about borrowing. And then a 7-part course summary on everything that we're going to be talking about during this course, just a summary of what we're doing. So again, if you didn't get your handouts and study guides, make sure you go over to the chat board, give me your email address and name, and ask for them, and I'll be happy to email them to you. So let's look back at this spring. I don't want to waste your time, but I want you to know that it is worth your time to get serious and dive into this. And let me show you what the folks who attended the spring series, which is basically what we're doing now, just doing it over, and this is the 13th year we've done it. Let's see the spring series. We had about 80 people to attend. 16 of them earned certificates of achievement. 13 graduated and became members of the Academy as associate members. 3 got extra effort awards. 2 came back for their second year, which made their title go up to advanced associate. 1 finished her 5 seasons, Sarita Sampson. And our first in class, that's the one who showed the most effort this year, was Vanessa McIntosh. So I'll tell you a little bit about them to show you the kind of work that we're doing. Here's the folks that completed the course. And here's the folks that became associate members. All of them proud, and you know through the course here, folks become friends and they start appreciating what other things they're doing, and we learn from each other so much. Penny Mansfield down in Wilmington, just a really active young lady with her resin red-haired title. She really kicked into gear this past spring, got her own account with Google or Us, and that's something that's one of the things that I really encourage y'all to do, to get your own business account with Google. She started taking great pictures and marketing online and putting prices there and showing us how she does that by sharing her videos and all of us linking up with each other on Facebook. Really jumped into marketing more strongly and helped us do that. And being encouraged by the associates really encouraged her to start doing a better job. And she's told me in private emails that it's really meant a lot to her. Tamika Mita in Jacksonville really kicking.
Versatile MC, your premier vending machine service.
There you go. That's Mita giving us a little video. Kenny is in Muleville, is Little Man Trucking, is ramping up his trucking business. Hopefully by now he's bought his second truck. He was looking forward to doing that. I hadn't heard from him this spring. Tisha is working hard with her stitching business, offering clothes for sale online and doing stitching work for folks. Ed and Caesar, the father and son, joined us and cranked up their remodeling business and repair business. And this past spring, they were not doing much marketing and all, but after we got started here, we got encouragement. I want to tell you, they have been burning up Facebook and social media, and it looks like they're staying very busy. So I'm hoping that what they're doing is really, really improving their business. And we're going to show y'all how to do the same thing depending on what your business is. Sarita Sampson is one of our longest and most loyal members of the Academy, and Sarita helps us with all the certificates that we get done. Her business is Talese, and she does virtual assistance for a lot of different businesses. Let me show you one of her little videos. Turn your volume up if you can.
Hi, my name is Sarita Sampson. I am the owner of Love Inks Graphics here in Clinton, North Carolina. I can help you with your business card. I can help you create your logo. I can also do funeral programs and flyers. Any of your graphic design needs, I can handle. I also am the owner of Taylor's Creation, where we can help you build your business websites, and I can also be your personal assistant, helping you with posting your products, helping you post your products online, helping you set up your Facebook business page, all that.
So see if I can
your business.
Well, let me see if I can move on here now.
If you need to get in the contact.
There we go. Alicia, thank you, Sarita. The point of that was a lot of us maybe haven't done any videos yet, and we will encourage you and work with you to get started doing your own videos so that you can start doing a better job marketing your product. Alicia over in Willard is looking at several different enterprises for her family. Monique in Huntersville has joined us, and she's did a really good job with different things she's going to be doing for children. And Amanda Stokes in Wallace is looking forward to getting her kitchen and bakery up and running, and we're looking forward to working with her. First in Class Award, that was the one who came with us all the way through, was Vanessa McIntosh from over in the mountains in Burnsville. And Vanessa had a nice little business running that she had operated for 6 or 8 or maybe even 7 years, but it was kind of stale and stagnant. So she joined her class, very attentive, actually came back several times the second year, but her business is called 5 Alarm Logistics. She's a mother over there, works out of her home. And I just want you to look at some of the marketing techniques that she developed and did, following the guidelines of what we were teaching, come up with some really good marketing pages, very good selecting their different customer target markets and shared those with us. Did a very good little video clip, so I hope the videos and the audio can come through for you. Again, turn your volume up, so I'd like for you to hear this.
Hey y'all, I'm Vanessa McIntosh. I'm the owner of 5 Alarm Logistics. 5 Alarm is one of the very few ploy manufacturers in the United States. and we're located in Yancey County, North Carolina.
All these products, including...
We are going to be able to show you how you can take one of your plain and simple videos that you do on your telephone and show you how it can be enhanced with, if you'll notice the script moving back and forth, the images being included in the videos, the music in the background. Pay attention to that, because we're going to show you how to take a simple video and turn it into a first-class advertising market for social media and for your website. Crank it back up here.
Coins, caps, shirts, and more are great for gifts, awards, promotions of emergency service agencies, dispatch centers, fire departments, law enforcement agencies, emergency medical team departments, search and rescue teams, correctional facilities, and by the way, these coins are great for special occasions with businesses and employees, family events and meetings, athletic teams, all military branches, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, Forest Services, and private organizations. Don't wait. Call or email the message today to place your orders and let us know when you need delivery.
Thank you for choosing 5 Alarm Logistics.
And thank you, Vanessa, so much. And she even came forward with her vision and promise statement and her core value statement. All these really enhance a website, enhance a business, but most importantly, create a lot of self-confidence with you as you're getting started into it. She wrote a very nice testimonial for the series in the Academy here, which we appreciate as well. She has shared with us how to set up pop-up booths and move forward with that. And showed us that she has done her own imaging here to help people find her, to get in touch with her. All these are things that can certainly help you as well. And we're always important when you can boast the fact that you're made in the USA. That's very important as well. So here's kind of what the certificates will look like. We want some out there with your name on them in a few months. So looking forward to making them for you. And so happy to have this opportunity. Again, check out your study guides, dive into it. I'll be sharing with you lots and lots of information. I'll encourage you to save these files. They're all going to be Word files. So you get a place on your computer where you can save every one of them and use them in your business planning and in your business journal, and come back to refer to them in the future. So that's the history. Now let's look a little bit forward. I want to give you some tiny tips for your new business as you're getting started. And I'd like to welcome, again, so we have some new people to come on board. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Valerie. Good to have you with us, and glad to see you. All right, number one, plan for the unexpected. There's always reasons that you need to be planning for the unexpected to not be shocked. And in entrepreneurship and in business in general, as you go through the years, you're going to find out that you just can't be shaken. You need to be firm, not become afraid, scared, if you want to say that. Plan, just know that the unexpected is going to come about. Through the years, for 50-some years, I've had the pleasure and honor of working with one lady as my bookkeeper. And this past week, she needed to retire for health reasons. So for the first time in my business life, it's been a long time now, I'm in the market to find a bookkeeper to help me, and it's kind of scary. But we knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and no reason to worry about it. So I'm just taking it one day at a time now, and we'll get there. Build a team around you, people that you can trust, people that have some sense about business, folks that you can talk to. And you have entered tonight, it may be the first time that you've entered this world of the small business centers and the influence it can have on your business. These are people you can trust. Things you say to them, things you say to me will remain confidential. Those things that you want it to be confidential will stay that way. So you can ask the hard questions and get the hard answers sometimes. So find some people you can talk to that understand business that you can work with. And all the people that you see on the screen here that's with us tonight, and other people that have been involved in the Academy series before, know the value of being on board and listening to what people say and the things that they share, because we all learn from each other. It's just really important, the experience that we can get. Things will go wrong from time to time, even with the very best advice. Things can go wrong, but we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to be prepared to move forward. My job, the way I see it and the way I push it, is I want to be assertive. And assertive may not have a nice connotation for you. It may be a word that you don't use often. But in my work as an entrepreneur coach and as an entrepreneur dealing with customers, people have to be motivated. We need to motivate and encourage and excite our customers to buy from us. We need to motivate and encourage our employees to become engaged in the business. And I need to motivate and encourage you to take it to the next step as far as you want to go. I will push you, and I don't want you to think I'm stepping on your toes. I'll just go ahead and give you an apology right up front, because I need to be assertive. But I always want to tell you, I want you to take things at your own pace. It's just I want to push that bar for your pace to help you get this business started. Because you know what? If you don't get started, you will never get there. So that's where I'm coming from as we talk about this thing. And your job now, I told you what my job was. Your job, Annette and Pamela and Sarah, is to find the endurance and the dedication, but the endurance mainly, to stay in the game, to see it through to the end, so that you can have a chance to see how the circle works, get all the information as a recipe, and see how it comes together to make a really nice finished product in a new business ready to crank up, or a business that's already running, improved, and moving forward with good fundamental planning involved. It's all about that fundamental planning that we got. Again, here's my email address, stvcarv@AOL, and we'll be exchanging a lot of information with you. Communicating and changing emails, we're going to do a lot of. And I don't want you to share. I don't want you to share with me your website links, your Facebook links. I want us to be friends on Facebook and watch what we're doing to give advice and how to improve things. I'd like to see personal photos. I'd like to see photos of your product and of your business, images that you might use to promote it, images and things that you might use to put in your mission and vision statements. Photos are very real, and maybe you don't want to do a video of you talking, but you can do a video and just show photos in it and have talking in the background. Can make a very effective video. As a matter of fact, I did one of those for this series that I've shared with everyone. I do want you to have a Google My Business account, or My Business on Google, I think it's called now, because that's like a free website. And it may take a month or even a year to have a first-class website up and running, but tomorrow you can have almost all the benefits of a website by having your business on Google account. Very effective, and I'm certainly going to encourage you to do it, as well as getting into excuse me, the YouTube videos and creating your own and learning how to make your YouTube channel. Again, another free website. So many things that you can do to jumpstart your business, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. Again, the 40 drill skills are going to be a way that you're going to be amazed at how they help you as we go along. So let's talk about the first 8 of them. You ready? Week number 1, we're going to go through 40 drill skills here. You'll hear these again and again and again for 4 weeks. Listen, make your own notes as we go down, and listen to the short explanation of them, and you'll start seeing what it's all about. Let's talk about a business plan. You want a business plan. It will help you avoid unexpected pitfalls and unexpected expenses. That's why it's so important. It'll help you plan your business as to what you're going to be selling, how much you estimate that you will make, and how much you estimate the expenses will be. That's what our business plan is going to do. And it's all about telling you what's left. After you take your estimated income and subtract your estimated expenses, the what's left is what a business plan is going to tell you. Next week, part 2 is all about the business plans. So I'm going to encourage you to make sure you get all of that you can comprehend, and it'll be comprehensive. But that business plan, what's left is your goal, your income goal. We're going to try to write a business plan to meet your goal. We don't want to write a business plan and see what happens. No, we're going to write a business plan around what you decide that you want your business to be and to make, and we're going to go for it. Our business plan is to be successful. Number 2, a marketing plan. Very, very important, and I'll be calling that marketing plan the Golden Goose marketing plan, because what we want is a lot of golden eggs, right? But more important than that, a good marketing plan will tell you what's next. What's next? What are you going to be doing next week, next month, next year? Are you going to have any business? It's scary as a new business person, and I lived it for so many years. And this marketing plan will help you avoid a lot of the sleepless nights that I've had and stomach aches and worried about if I was going to be in business another month or two, because it can be very scary. But a good marketing plan will tell you, I'm doing things right. I've got a fundamental structure that is guaranteed to bring me in more business if I simply follow the rules. And it's not rocket science. It's just doing one thing after another and being disciplined. And by golly, you'll feel good about your business growing and growing in the right direction. I want you to know that there's 3 different types of profit center. And a profit center is the different things that you're going to do in your business to make money. I don't call them marketable profit centers, and I sent you a handout explaining it deeper. But we want 3 different kinds of profit centers to generate revenue in our business. We want to be buying things or offering services that will bring in new customers and new business every day. New business. If you're brand new, you don't have any customers, so we know how important that is. But if you're an old established business like mine at 64 years, I still need to bring in new customers every day, because we all will lose about 1/3 of our customers every year. That's right, about 1/3 of our customers every year. So if you're just 1 or 2 years in business and you don't have any customers, whoa, man, it's really important that we have profit centers that's bringing in new folks, okay? But usually those profit centers aren't very profitable, don't have much margin in them, because we're trying to steal customers from other folks and bring them in off the street. We're often sell. So we got to have something going on in our business where we're going to make some money, and that's our second type of profit centers, which is all about continuous business. Those things that bring people back to our business day after day, week after week, year after year, solid, continuous business at higher margins. And those higher margins is what's going to really fund our future in our business. But that's a different type of profit center. I'll show you the differences. And then we have to be conscious that we need profit centers that will help us have some big ticket items. Big ticket items like larger deposits every day. Some things that cost enough money that you got a chance to make some money on them. So, because what's more fun, to deposit $50 or to deposit $5,000? Well, I can tell you it's a lot more fun to deposit $5,000 than it is to deposit $50. I had the occasion just a while ago to deposit $9,000 $400 and some. I had one customer that came today and bought a couple of implements that cost over $9,000. And I was so glad for that. And if he hadn't come, I had another customer that mailed me in $300, and I appreciate those too. The little ones add up to be big ones. But if you have some big ticket items, you're going to have a chance to make some money and set aside some for a rainy day so that unexpected expense won't put you out of business. So what are the three types? And you're going to need to know this. This is DNA for an entrepreneur. New customers, repeat customers, big ticket items. This will be three of the questions on our quiz at the end of the series. Marketable profit centers help you grow, help you go forward, and such as that. So there's three types, but I want you to have at least five profit centers in your business. And that, if you're just going to be doing one thing, selling one product to one customer group, I will guarantee you in time, it will go south. It will go south. If you're doing 5 different things with different customer groups at different times of year, you don't be able to stay in business all year round. You don't have a safety net in case one thing goes south. It won't put you out of business. So the way that we hedge against that, our risk management against having our cash flow go dead, is to have a lot of profit centers that work together, that we can connect them to help us have a diverse business that will really grow. And we'll get into that real deep all the way through the series, okay? 3 letters now, RFC, you'll hear a whole lot of, because for the rest of your business life, you will be thinking about RFCs. And an RFC is a raving fan customer. Say that with me, raving fan customer. Now, they are the people that you can rely on, that when times are tight, business is slow, it's your raving fan customers that's going to pull you out of the bind and help you stay in business instead of going out of business. So we got to learn how to create raving fan customers, because you can have a good customer, a loyal customer, a regular customer, but that don't mean they're raving fans. And I don't promise you that in week 3, I don't teach you how to create raving fan customers. And there's not going to be any extra charge. It's all free and part of the plan. But you'll get it and you'll see it work. You want raving fan customers. NDCP is short for no demand, change to plan. I said right from square one that we are always going to have to deal with changes. So NDCP, no demand, change the plan. When I was giving seminars in person-to-person classes, I'd actually have everybody go, come on, do it with me. No demand, change the plan. Yeah, no demand, change the plan. What that means is, when things get tough and we see our business plan isn't working, don't throw your hands up. No, change the plan. There are a lot of ways to change it. We're going to remain flexible, and you don't have the skill and the confidence to how to read that and change that plan so you can stay in business. And I'm happy to help you show it. I have to change my business plan probably 4 or 5 times every year. Not all of it, but just one line here, one line there, one profit center here, one margin there. But if you're on top of your business, you'll learn how to do that, because if you don't change the plan, you're going to end up in the ditch. You really will. Now, 4 more letters are A, B, C, D, and that is always be connecting dots. So we'll be talking about 100 different ideas and strategies for you to use in your business, and we'll call those the dots. And we need to connect those dots in a circle, because when we make changes and add ideas and add profit centers and do this and do that, it's real easy to say, well, that feels good, that looks good at the time. But what I'm going to teach you to do is see how it fits in the big circle. Because just because it looks good don't mean it'll work. Just because it sounds good doesn't mean it'll make money. And just because one person said you ought to do this doesn't mean you ought to do it. So we're going to learn how to A, B, C, D, always be connecting the dots. And I'm so happy to do it. When you listen to your drill skills, you'll enjoy that because it will show you why it's so important to connect our dots in a circle. Because if we connect one outside of the circle, it's going to be a very bumpy road. 3 words for entrepreneurship that you have never heard probably before are going to be so impactful on your future. I am honored to be the one that introduces it to you right now. And I can probably tell you with very confidence, a lot of confidence, that you could be at the Harvard Business School in Massachusetts, or in London or England or anywhere in the world in business classes, and they're probably not going to teach you this. But after 64 years in business, I can tell you they ought to be teaching this because it can change a business overnight. And I've seen folks like you come to these classes during the last 13 years and tell me the next week they applied what we learned here about by the way, and that week saw their profits start doubling. That's a pretty strong statement, and I don't say it lightly. By the way, those 3 words is the password to upsells and cross sales and stacking profits. So if you're taking notes down, I want you to write this down. By the way is the password to upsells, cross sales, and stacking profits. Because it allows you through upsells to have one customer buy one thing that they're happy for, and you automatically are able to say, thank you so much. And by the way, we've also got this that goes right along with that. And by the way, if you want to complete this ensemble, we've got this right here. And by the way, this. And my friends, I don't tell you that you want to by the way the heck out of them, as long as they keep saying, yes, I'll take it. You're doing them a favor and they appreciate it. But by the way, and upsells don't happen by itself. They happen only when you understand forecasting and merchandising and salesmanship. And if you stay with me, I'll teach you this stuff. I really will. You may not get it the first night, and that may be why you want to come back the second night, because we go through a lot of things in these seminars. Okay, and the last drill skill we're going to talk about tonight, 8 out of 40, is there's 3 rules. I don't know if any of you guys and ladies have been fishing or not, especially out in the ocean. But if you do ever go fishing, there's 3 rules to catching fish. And if you apply these 3 rules, I'll tell you it works, because I fished down at Emerald Isle for 25 years every time I could go fishing down there. We had 35 years, actually had a beach house down there, and I loved to go out in the ocean and go fishing. But the first 5 years, I didn't catch any fish to speak of. Everybody else was just going. I'd carry my grandchildren, my friends fishing, and we come back with an empty ice box, and it was embarrassing. So I carried some of my friends down there, some other captains. I bought the beer, I bought the gas, they used my boat, and I let them keep the fish, and we caught fish. And they taught me lots and lots of little tips that make the difference. And in business, it's the little things that make the difference. The little things that you do can make all the difference in the world. But when it's catching fish, there's 3 things you've got to do, 3 rules. Rule number 1, keep fresh bait in the water. That's right, rule number 1. Rule number 2, write this down, keep fresh bait in the water. Yeah, 2 times already, right? Same one. Well, guess what rule number 3 is? Keep fresh bait in the water. Because if you're in the ocean and you're keeping fresh bait in the water, you will catch something. It may not be the fish you were after, or it may be, but the thing that brings the fish in is fresh bait, and you got to put it in front of them. So what has that got to do with entrepreneurship? It's got everything to do with it, because it's the same rule if you want to catch customers time and time again, more so than anyone else out there you're competing with. The rule is keep fresh bait in the water, and you do that by sending out continuous promotions. Putting the continuous promotions in front of your target customer groups. This doesn't mean you got to hire some expensive ad agency, because you're going to do it yourself just like I do. You don't have a whole team of people to do this and that for you, do you? No, and I don't either, but I've done it myself for a lot of years. What does that mean? We got to work. We got to manage our time and learn how to do things. So keeping fresh bait in the water by keeping continuous promotions out there is going to be your rule number 1, 2, and 3, and your business will be sustainable. Now, let's get into the meat of this, and I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I'm summarizing, and next week we're actually going to deep dive into the individual things that we're doing, and I do hope you'll stay with me and go steady with me for 7 weeks, and even after that, dive in some more. What we want to do is to have a well-rounded understanding of what makes a small business tick. How does a small business avoid the pitfalls that put so many out of business? How about some things that you hadn't thought about yet? That's what we're going to be doing in our book. Now, this book is offered at Amazon.com, but you don't need to buy it unless you want to give it to someone as a gift, because your study guide that I'm emailing to you basically saying the same thing. About 24 chapters, and here we go. If you are coming to Joy for an interview or to any of the other small business centers, they're going to ask you about 35 questions. Just cut and dry questions that they need to know to give you a good sound advice and to help you chart a new course. Well, I don't pick up the most important questions, I think, that I would ask you, but mainly you need to ask yourself, things that you need to ask yourself. And that is, number 1, are you going to be personally active in the business, or do you want to have a business that you're kind of the silent owner of and other people do the work? And is this going to be a full-time or a part-time side hustle for you? And I don't care which it is, but it's important that you know, because you will, and with my help, write a business plan in a whole different way depending on which these answers are. Are you in it to stay with it, to be there, this is your full-time work? Or is it part-time? Or is it full-time? Is it your main breadwinner? Or is it additional income? Is it a side hustle you just want to start? Be honest with yourself, because I don't want you to quit a good paying job with benefits to start a brand new venture. Well, not right out without a good plan and a lot of experienced advice coming into it. But you need to know, because we're going to get to a real important question after this, in that, is your business going to be home-based? Is it going to be an internet business or a person-to-person business? Or do you plan to have a bricks and mortar store for an actual building that you're going to build, buy, or lease? Or maybe it's some type of combination of all of these. Make a note of that, and it may be some of all three. My businesses through the years have been all of these, and the combinations help them. But when we're writing that business plan next week, there will be different criteria for each one of these. So if you're going to have 2 or 3 different types of structured businesses, then we're going to have different sections in that business plan to account for each one of them as we start making our estimates of expenses and of income. What date do you actually want to start your business, to open it up? If you're just thinking about opening up the business, then let's say that maybe 6 months is a realistic thing. Maybe you are well into thinking and you've already thought it out and you're ready to jump in it now. That's why I'd like for each of you to write me an email, send me an email, tell me a little bit about the business you're planning on starting, or that you're just thinking about, or you don't know. Just be frank and honest with me, and if you are already along the way, what is the next step that you want to get to? How can we best help you get to that next step? I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. It's very valuable. And we got a lot of people here. That's why it's important that we talk about what's important to you in these following lessons, and I'll do that. And Joy will back me up on that. That's what she wants as well. We want you to find sustainability in your business. So share with me. Send me an email. Tell me your hometown. Yeah, I'd like to have some pictures. I'd like to have some Facebook links. Tell me about your business and where you would like to go with it. And what are the areas that's giving you the most problems that I might be able to talk about in a real sense to help us solve these problems? That's what we want to know. And then I'll be able to better tell you what are all the things that need to be done before you could realistically think you're ready to start your business. Now, again, I've talked about that we're going to need different profit centers, service, products, and whether you're selling products or whether you're selling time for money. And selling time for money means you're providing a service. And that service means it's on the clock, and your business plan has to be built around appointment times and how much time you're staying on each job. For example, someone that's selling products is selling peaches and creams and soaps and tractors and implements and nursery products and groceries or all the other kind of products in the world, food. But if you're pressure washing, if you're a lawyer, if you're a counselor, then everything you're doing is related to time. The different equipment that you're using, let's say the person is a pressure washer, the person has a lawn maintenance business, the person that does cleaning, the person that gives webinars, it's all about their time. So our business plan related to that will be how much per hour can you earn? And how many hours are you going to need to work? And then there's probably no way in the world, unless you're going to get a really good fee per hour, that you can really grow a larger business unless you bring in more people to create crews, or that you're able to sell their labor, and then we'll take that into consideration in the business plan. See, it's kind of complicated, but it's not rocket science. No, your business plan that we're going to talk about next week, you're going to be able to do it. I'm going to be able to help you. Small Business Center will be able to help you, but you're going to be able to understand and see how it's going right away. I'll guarantee you that, and we'll look forward to helping you do it. Credit score. Whether you're going to borrow money or not, the way the community sees you is important. You've got a reputation out there, whether you know it or not, whether it's good or bad or not, lackluster. And it's a lot has to do with, have you paid your bills along the way? Have you left people stuck? Do people talk bad about you because you have let them down and didn't pay back money? That's important. When you go to get a loan, or when you go to get insurance or buy a car or a truck or a tractor for your business, your credit score is going to determine, one, whether or not you get it, and two, whether your interest rate is going to be real high or much lower. So are you at a position right now that you can say, a lender would probably be very happy to have me and to lend me some money based on my credit score, credit history, and what I've got going on? And if that question is, nah, sorry, I don't think we're going to do too good in that department, well, let me tell you, most entrepreneurs have that same answer, and I'm used to hearing it, and it don't bother me at all. I do know we're going to have to address it, but I also know there are ways to get around it, and we're going to be glad to talk about that in week 4. This is going to be all about funding and borrowing money and keeping cash flow up. And all the way through the series on different nights, we'll bring in how to finance and get this money and how much it's going to cost. So I do have a handout in the study guide that right now gives you different tips and suggestions on how to improve your credit score a little bit each week and start making improvements on it. So just ask for that in the chat board, and I'll be glad to send it to you. I didn't understand how important this was. I've always encouraged people in our classes to have mission statements and vision statements and promise statements, but I had no clue on the impact it will make on you as it did on me. Year before last, I started taking this very serious after I started seeing some of my clients and some of y'all's vision statement. And what it was saying to the world what you hope to achieve. And it shares your hopes and dreams and visions with your potential customers. It achieves 2 or 3 different things for you. Number one, it helps you take yourself serious. Yeah, this is what I want, and I'm willing to put it in writing and let the whole world see it. I'll put it in my statement. I'll send it in my letters. I'll put it at my website. I'm not ashamed of my vision. I'm not ashamed of my mission. And if people see it and they agree with it, they're more apt to do business with you, and they will. They will mention it. They do read it. Folks now are really interested in knowing more about who you're doing business with because there's so many scammers out here in the world. And one of the reasons I created and promote the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates is because the mission and vision statement there is to run a good, honest business, to uphold ideals, to honor other people, to become more like Jesus as individual business people. So as you write and create your vision statements, you'll get it. And you will, on day one, become more proud of yourself and more proud of your business because you know when people read that, they'll know that you're in it to win it. And it's true. So the handout that I sent to you gets into that. And to be part of the things that I really want you to do to earn your graduation certificate in this course. Core values. Have you ever thought about what your core values are? I had not. But once I started thinking about it, I saw how important it was. And by golly, they're not hard to list down. And we talk about it in that handout, and we'll talk about it later on. Your mission and vision statements will tell what your company is going to do for the community, for the customers, for your employees, and what are your goals? What are your goals for the company, and what standards are you going to keep there for it? That's why it's important for you to give it serious thought. For example, at carverequipment.com, I was proud to say that our core values at my company are to respect every person, maintain high standards, earn trust and deserve trust, foster partnerships, and embrace excellence. And when you put that on your website, and I see that every day as a way that I plan to run my business, I'll make decisions all day long, and this is on my mind. Is this decision respecting every person? Is it showing that I want to maintain high standards? Is it helping me earn trust? And on and on and on. Because it's there in writing, and it's a commitment I make to myself as well as to you and to all my customers. So you'll look forward to doing that. It's not that hard to do. Our vision was very simple. Just put that in there. We want to have the right stuff at the right price at the right time and make sure it's high quality and that we're going to support our customers the way they would expect us to. And our vision is we want to last a long time, and we want our relationships to last a long time. And we want to add new customers all the time so we can better serve them. You're welcome to use any of these statements that you feel comfortable with. Just be willing to live them up. You can copy my vision statements if you want. Change them around to suit your needs if you'd like. And to promise, we want to promise that we're going to treat people with dignity and goodwill. And enthusiasm, dignity, and goodwill. And folks say to me, since we put this up, say, Steve, you're really living up to that promise statement, and we really appreciate it. And I have to tell them sometimes it's not easy, but I'm trying to do it as well. And then I don't mind saying in my last statement there, I want to become less like me and more like Jesus. If that hurts somebody's feelings, I'm sorry. But in my promise statement, I think that's the right way to go. So wherever you find your faith and your goodwill and that encourage you to be a better person, put it in there and let people know. Sabrina, did you have a statement you wanted to make? I saw a hand go up there. Turn your mic on if you wanted to say something. Okay, well, maybe you hit it by mistake. Here we go. So let's get on with it. One of the first things I'm going to ask you to do, which is one of the easiest assignments you'll have, is for you to write those statements and get on with it. Look at that and we'll get started. I've also got the mission vision statement for the Academy, and I'll share that with you in emails. Won't spend much time on it here, but I believe in it, and I think we all should do it. But the bottom line in our pledge that we all will work together in these classes to the end, year after year, as you come back season after season. And the last line is so important, to concentrate and strengthen our association together by devotion to mutual helpfulness. If we're all in it to help each other mutually, then we can't be doing wrong. Isn't that right? So, chapter 1, find that mentor, find that counselor, find an advisor. I'll be glad to fill that role for you for the next few weeks, and I'll always be encouraging you to find someone else that you can sit down and talk to. I want you to have a diverse group of products so we can have a diverse group of customers. Diversity means you can get money coming in all year long and have a better chance of making it. We need to keep a positive attitude and be determined and have a lot of energy. Our customers always need to see us being energized and motivating them. Your goals need to be listed down. What is your personal income goals? I know we've all got expenses and they're going up from time to time. Sometimes they come down and we need to be making more money. That's why you're here. And it's my job to try to help you do that, but I don't need for you to have your own goals because I can't set them for you. It's up to you to do it. When you know your goals, then we're going to be better equipped to understand what our business revenues need to be. And when we have those business revenues, we're going to be able to have a business plan that the what's left is that goal that you have set. And we'll do that with a planner and a milepost of dates. Depending on how fast you want to get this business up and running, we'll have a plan to get you there. Well, number one, we're going to start out small, but we're going to start out solid, good, solid foundation, and also the encouragement for you to be willing to put your toes in the water. Now, you're all here tonight, and I'm glad to have you, but you're just standing on the bank tonight. You haven't put your toes in the water that you've shown me. When we start putting our toes in the water, we're going to be naming a business and doing some mission and vision statements and putting some ads on Facebook and maybe getting a website up and running. That's putting your toes in the water. But I'm glad you're here tonight, and I want you to join into our work at a pace that you want to do it as well. I want to call out Denise, who's with us tonight, one of our loyal entrepreneurs through the way. Denise, I'm so glad to have you tonight. How are things going with you? Maybe she don't have her mic on, doesn't have mics, but anyway, I'm going to be sharing a poem that Denise wrote for us next week, and we'll be hearing more from her. And I'm glad that you decided to join us tonight. She's put her toes in the water and does a great job with writing and singing, and she's a full-time nurse. Just so glad to have her on board with us. You need to be legal in your business. We don't want you to get in trouble with the law, but usually that is just a small potatoes and things that we have to worry about because there's 10 different types of corporations that you might have. And I'll tell you right now, you probably don't have to be one right now. You will be eventually as your business grows, and that will probably be an LLC, a limited liability company. Okay, so just think about that. I'll show you all the details. You don't have to worry about it. It's not expensive to become an LLC, but there's some steps we need to do before you get there. We'll talk a lot more in depth about that in later seminars. But that word there should be company instead of corporation, limited liability company. What it does, it basically is a way to help protect some of your assets in case you get sued. It's a way to better define how much your tax payments are going to be, and sometimes will help you pay less taxes. So the LLC will be very important. And in our topic, maybe you're there now. the person that needs to think, well, maybe I need to be making those moves now, is that if your business is already out in public, and if your business is requiring that you're putting yourself in exposure of accidents such as that, you're on the road a lot on vehicles that might have car accidents, or the type of work you're doing might cause accidents to other people, then you're going to need some insurance. And the insurance person, your insurance agent, is going to encourage you to become an LLC. Once that move is decided, then you're going to have to make some other steps too. To become an LLC, you're going to need to do a little bit of homework, create a business bank account probably, get a federal employee number, and a couple of other things. None of them are very complicated. Next, we're going to need to learn how to divide our time and set priorities. More about setting priorities than anything else right now as you're just getting started. Because how can we expect anything to go different tomorrow if we're going to do everything the same today? Just ain't going to happen. So I can do all this talking about maybe we need to do this, and I suggest that you do that, and your business plan requires that you make this, and this move. Well, I can say it and encourage you, but it's going to take that self-motivation on your part and endurance to actually put the pencil to the paper and change priorities in your time and what you're doing to make it happen. And that's not easy. I don't know, maybe you have 4 children at home that you're looking after. Maybe you're a primary caretaker for 2 or 3 senior citizens, and that's a 36-hour-a-day job. Maybe you're already working 3 jobs and you're just trying to figure out how to get out from under the hammer. A lot of us think, boy, I was hoping my ship would come in, but when it came in, it just went right on past the dock where I was standing. Do you have that feeling sometimes that your ship came in and didn't stop for you? I know how that feels. Well, old coach here has to encourage you to say, we can't get down in the dumps. We have to maybe take our shoes off, jump in the water, and swim out there and catch that ship. And there's ways that we can do that in business as entrepreneurs. And I'll be glad to share with you and try to give you that encouragement to jump in. I said a while ago, stick your toes in, but there are times we got to just start swimming. And it's got kind of fun, but knowing how to do it and how to go for it is really, really important. There'll be a time that you're going to need to hire someone, maybe not as an employee, but maybe bring them as a consultant or a contractor, or you'll find someone to do things for you for a share of your money. Always delegating doesn't mean hiring other people. Sometimes it does, but most of the time, us 1 and 2 ownership entrepreneurships, we find ways to get it done without adding a lot of employees. And you'll see how that works. A lot of folks say, you know, I just don't know what the laws are, Steve, and I'm afraid I'm out here messing around and I don't get in trouble. Well, the good news is, and I'm glad to share this with you tonight, wherever you live, if you live in a chartered town, a regular town or city in North Carolina, they probably have a website now that everything's on the internet. Dunn has one, and I know all their towns around us do. And at that website, they post all their ordinances and all their laws that they have. They tell you who's in charge of this and who's in charge of that and who you need to talk to. So if this is a concern with you, just go get active on the internet, go find the website for your local town, see what it all has to say. You'll have a lot of good reading there and find places that you can go to get a lot of answers. And usually every town and every city is very interested in helping entrepreneurs start new businesses. That is the future for towns. That's the new growth, the new employment. So people will love you and love to help you start a new business in city government usually. A lot of frequently asked questions are going to come along, and you can find those out. So you're going to need to start your business in a business checking account, which you'll need as you start making money. You'll need a EIN number, employee identification number. When a baby is born, when you were born, you were assigned a Social Security number. And all your life, you'll have that Social Security number, right? Until you pass away, and then it'll be gone. And how is that gone? Well, someone will do a final tax return on you and take that Social Security number out of play. When a business is born, it gets an EIN number, and it will stay with your business as long as you're open. And once you make this move now, once you get that EIN number, you are obligated to send in reports on at least an annual basis about your business. And if you don't do it, you'll be breaking the law. So starting this EIN number is saying to the world and saying to the U.S. government, I'm in business. I don't pay you about $100 or $200 a year, what they call a franchise tax, to stay in business, and I will report to you what's going on in my business. So that's commitments you make. And then if at some point in time you decide, I don't want to be in business no more and I want to get rid of this thing for whatever reason, then what you're going to want to do is to close that number out, and there's a process to do it. What you don't want to do is throw your hands up, walk away, don't close it out, and have a number of years later find out that you owe some money and maybe are in some trouble because you didn't file the reports after you closed. Not only with the federal government, but with state government. So making this move has a long-term obligation on your part to be the entrepreneur that you're supposed to be and make the reports that you're supposed to be, because the U.S. government is giving you the privilege. Your town is giving you the privilege. Your state is giving you the privilege to be a business person. And for that privilege, we owe them some reports and sometimes some money. And those licenses and certificates are called privilege licenses. That's where that comes from. North Carolina DOR, that's the North Carolina Department of Revenue, based in Raleigh, but having satellite offices all over the state. Those are the folks that we send our sales tax that we collect to, and our resale issues. If you don't buy things and sell them, then you won't not have to pay tax on them twice, so you'll need a resale certificate. Well, you'll get all that through the North Carolina Department of Revenue. Not very complicated, but it's something we have to do and something we have to keep up with. As I'm losing my bookkeeper now, the only thing that's puts pressure on me before my year end to get my books kept up with or current is that every month I had better send in that sales tax report, because if I don't, I will get heavily fined and maybe even with penalties and interest and things like that. So if you once you get into sales tax business of selling stuff and having to report that, that's something you're gonna have to do every month. Not hard to do, but it's just a discipline that you take on. There'll be some local permits and licenses that you need to get, registrations. None of these are expensive at all. And usually you'll find out all about that at the town clerk or the city clerk in the place you live. Once you file with the town and county, then they're going to know that you're a business in town, and then you'll get another form to fill out each year, a tax form for your particular business. So that will come about. Don't worry about it, but know it's coming. It's one of the things that's a part of being a sustainable business. The business registration has a great big name. It's a great big piece of paper, but this is how it simply looks. This is my business registration that expired June of 22, and that's all it is. They send me a bill, I think for $100, and I send them that, and they send me this back, and I'm good for a year. What does that do for me? Well, what it does, it keeps other people, it keeps flim-flammers and crooks and scammers. At least the city has the right to ask them if they're registered to do business in town. And if they're not, maybe they can run them out. But it helps keeps things up and running. It also lets the town know that people are doing business wonder what their fire codes are. What are they storing in that building? Do we need to send a fire inspector by to give them a check? And that's true. So they find out where you are and what you're supposed to be doing with that business registration each year. Needs to be done, and it's a good thing. Got some good news for you. The small business centers are a member of the small business center network statewide. And the network has a website. That's where you go to register. And at that website, you'll notice you saw this page right over where you were registering. And if you go to the place that says resources, that section of that website is just packed full of information that's all about helping start up businesses and entrepreneurs. So if you don't have anything to do one day and you're the type of person that really wants to fill up your mind with new information about entrepreneurship, this is a great place to go, and you'll see a lot of resources there that probably you can't find anywhere else that's better organized. So let's talk about your business now. The three categories are work at home office, work from home office, or have a retail business, bricks and mortar, somewhere else where customers come to another stationary site. Again, think about what your business is probably going to be. Now, which of these is the least expensive to get started? Which one of these three types is the least expensive to get started? It's the work at home. Because when you work from your home, that means you have bought a truck or a trailer or a lot of tools, some way to get out there and get it done. So that mobility has an expense to it. And if you are going to leave home every day and go to your office, bricks and mortar, where you are paying rent and insurance and maintenance and light bills and a parking lot and have employees there, such as that, bricks and mortar businesses are a lot more expensive to run, but depending on the nature of your business, it may be exactly what you need to be. And each one of those types will require a different marketing strategy. That's right. So your marketing plan, I'll be asking you, let's look at the type of business you have, where you're going to be located, where are your customers, and then we'll develop a marketing plan to help those customers find you, putting fresh bait in the water to lead them to your particular type of business and where it's located. And now, let's complicate it a little bit. If you're going to be doing one or two of these or all three of them, then we will take that into consideration in the marketing plan. Why? So we do not waste money. 95% of the money spent in marketing and advertising is wasted. But here's the deal. You and me and our business cannot be all things to all people. You don't even think that it ever will be. You're not a Walmart or a Target or an Amazon.com, and I'm not either. Yeah, I'm on the internet, but I'm sure not an Amazon.com. Our business cannot be all things to all people. But write this down. But it must be with a capital M, must be everything to some people. When your business is everything to some people, then you're going to have raving fan customers. And when you have raving fan customers, guess what? You get to stay in business a long, long time. But it all started back when you understanding the importance of the fact, I'm not going to try to be all things to all people, but I am going to give it 100% effort to be everything to some people. And when we're doing that, you're going to create good business, goodwill, and raving fan customers. So if you're working at home, we'll use some strategies that do that. If you're working out of home, we'll be using some additional strategies. Or if it's a bricks and mortar business, our marketing strategies will be different for it, as will our business plan. Which one are you going to be doing? So I'm a little bit scared Let me get a drink of water here. You want some tea? I'm getting ready to get started, and even if your business has been in business a long time, everything we're talking about here applies when we bring in new products or we're thinking about what can I be doing different, because we have to use the same type of questions and answers to help us get started. This thing you're thinking about doing to make money, can you sell it? Not only can you sell it because it's something people want to buy, but can you sell it because you've got selling skills? And will they actually buy it, or will they just come by and say, kick the tires and walk on down the road? Is there a motivating factor to get them to pull your money out of their pocket and buy this thing? A motivating factor. That's why we have to motivate. Who are they? We're going to have to determine who our low-hanging fruit is. That's the people, the fruit that's low and easy to pick and fill our basket up. We need to figure out who the closest customers that are ready to buy are, so we can direct our marketing money towards them. Where are they? Again, we need to know. And how many of them can you reach? Because I don't care how good your product is. We're going to need enough of people buying it. We need enough of people buying it to create the volume that we'll have to get down to the what's left at our business plan. Sometimes it's something may be really great and you love it and a few people love it, but it's not enough love to create the volume of sales to make it work. So maybe that thing needs to stay a hobby and you enjoy it. But together we're going to figure out how to find something that's actually going to bring in enough revenue to call it a business. That's what planning is all about, and that's what we're going to try to do for the next 7 weeks. Marketable profit centers, a lot of them that make sense, that we can say, and by the way, they need to be connected in that circle. But we need enough of them that we can help people with our upsells and help us have a more diverse customer base. So I'm going to say to you now, Sarah and Pamela and Sabrina, what type of diversity will you have in your customer base? And when y'all write me the email to tell me about your business, address that and let me know where you are with your profit centers, diversity, and how you plan to look at that. So these profit centers now, going through them again quickly. Type 1, and we're going to be specific with this, something that will bring in new customers and promote daily traffic. That's when we hang a sign up out there or an ad, people want it, they will come and buy it. We just have the right price and have the right merchandising to bring them to us. Type 1, new customers. Let's talk about the convenience store. The convenience store has gasoline. That brings people in and off the street, and they can change the price of a gallon of gas 1 penny. 1 penny. And customers will come into their store that had never been in there before. So gasoline is a profit center type number 1 for a convenience store. It brings people in off the store, and they can create increased daily traffic flow by marketing their gasoline at certain prices. The lottery, Lord have mercy. Convenient when the lottery tickets or the lottery jackpots are way high, convenience store business is great. Yeah. The convenience stores don't make hardly any money on lottery tickets, and they don't make any money hardly on gasoline. But they have them to bring customers in because that's their profit center types number 1. I'll ask you, what are the profit centers you have in your business that will create daily traffic and new customers? And we'll talk about it because we don't need those. The fast food places, everywhere you go, you can get a $5 meal, right? Yes, indeed. Everywhere you go is a $5 meal. That's their profit center number 1. It encourages people to come in off the street because you can get a $5 meal here. Yeah. Well, that's important. So now let's move on to profit center. Number 2, create repeat business, help us sell more merchandise, and make more profit. Profit center is number 2. Now, where are they at? Well, let's go right back to that fast food place, because almost nobody gets out of a fast food place for $5. The average ticket sale there is between $9 and $12 per meal, and some go on up to $18. That $5 meal may have bought someone into the store, but they leave by buying profit centers number 2 and up in the ante with their meal. You do it and I do it. They are professionals at getting you in the store and then offering you something to upsize or to spend more money, because that's where they're making their greatest profits. At the grocery store and in the convenience store. Why do convenience stores sell gas and lottery tickets? Because as you walk around and wait in line, you start picking up the merchandise items. Every store, convenience store, makes their big profits on the items that they merchandise on these racks. That's what keeps them in business and helps them be very, very profitable. Not the gas and not the lottery tickets, but it's the merchandise they have inside. What do you have, or what will you have in your business that will represent the profit-making ability of merchandising? Yeah, and continuous business that keeps bringing them back. You need to know that, because you want your business to stay in business a long time. At the car dealership, where they make really almost nothing on new cars, but they got to have a lot full of millions and millions of dollars worth of new cars out there so they can sell parts, so they can sell service, and so they can sell used cars. Things are very seldom what they seem in retail. I want you to know this. So you're going to make your best profit dollars on the things that you hadn't even thought about yet. I do it in my business as well. Now let's talk about the big tickets. Maybe what you're thinking about selling doesn't cost a lot of money. I'm fortunate in my product line, I have some items that cost in the thousands of dollars. And those items, all of them have to have part sales. So my main big ticket items are my profit center number 1, bring in new customers. Because after I bring them in and they buy my stuff, then I get to sell them parts for years. That's my profit center number 2. The big ticket items in your business, maybe you're going to need to add those type of profit centers, more expensive items, or the next thing you can do is learn how to bundle them. By the way, bundle them into packages so that indeed you can take items that don't sell for much to begin with, but figure out a way to bundle them so you can end up making some sales that have some significant values to it. So let's look at Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, one of my favorite barbecue places. They've got a $5 meal, but they've also got in there a place where you can spend $169 up to $369 by bundling into catering packages. And all the other places are doing this as well, in one way or the other. And it's what you can do too. You must do it. You must learn how to do it if you're going to get the full advantage of entrepreneurship and enjoy creating raving fan customers that will buy big ticket items from you just as quickly as they buy a $5 meal. Yeah, it's fun and it's good, but it's also skilled. How am I going to find employees? Can you do this alone? Well, you can take a stab at it. You can do like I do. I basically do 99% of the work in my business myself, but I have to have some extra help. I have to have some help marketing. I have to have some help on social media. I have to have a bookkeeper, which I don't have tonight, but I'm be searching for them as we go along, and I'll give you reports as that goes. And I need a lawyer from time to time and a CPA. Right now, I enjoy on the banker side. I'm not in a position I'm having to borrow money, but I do have some credit lines and loans out there, and sometimes I have to talk to those professionals. Don't be afraid of that. Sometimes you're just better off to bite the bullet, pay for the information you need, get some help, get going. If you're going to start a website, which you're going to need, and you don't know how to do it yourself and you're waiting for someone to do it for free, that ain't going to work. We're going to show you how to get it done fairly inexpensively. And as a matter of fact, we're going to show you how to have your own websites without spending anything through your business at Google and Facebook and your YouTube channels can put you marketing tomorrow without basically not having to spend any money at all. So we can do that. But when it's time to hire some employees, you want to hire the best or don't hire anyone. You want to find people you can trust, and you want to learn how to do interviews, such as that, and we've got all the information to help you with that. Well, maybe you already started, or maybe you're not, or maybe you're just trying to see what it's going to take to get started, and there's going to be a certain amount of startup cost. We'll spend a lot of time talking about this, but what I'm going to ask you to do now is to give it some thought about what money you think you need to spend and what for your particular business. Write it down, make a list. Write it down, make a list. I don't be suggesting that you're going to be making lots of lists the next few weeks, and I'm hoping that you'll share them with me. It'll be confidential, but I'll get a good idea on what your thoughts are and where you are and be able to help you with it. Because whatever you think your startup costs are, you're probably going to end up doubling it before you actually get in business. And maybe there's some things we can do to cut that way down, and I want to help you do that. So think about your startup costs, start making a list, because next week in our business plan, that startup cost has got to be, we've got to plug a number in there. We've got to make an estimate. And in business planning right now, before you get into business, it's all estimating, but we want to do it realistic, right? So let's come up with that basic startup expense list. If you need to borrow money at the bank, I'm giving you a list. One of your study guides goes into this deep. There's some things you need to read there. Some of it may shock you. I don't think it will, but there's realistic things. But it kind of boils down to, if you already don't have an established credit background, that you've been borrowing money and paying it back over a period of years, have a long-term good pay record. If you don't have a really large down payment, or if you really don't have any large collateral that you can offer to a lender, it's going to be real hard to get a lender, a commercial lender, to loan you money. And there's some steps that we can go through to make that easier. We'll talk about it very honestly in our class in week 4, and I'll tell you some different things that you might want to consider doing. How to do your own fundraisers, how to find people that might help you, what we call angel investors, and your small business center in the different areas may know some things that I don't know that's happening in your town or your county that I'm not aware of. So we'll get into that real strong. It's a serious subject. But then on a lighter note, I want to tell you that as you get ready to start your business, I want to encourage you to what I call find the big kahuna. Whatever you're thinking about doing, there's somebody out there that's been doing it for years. And if they've been doing it for years and doing a really good job, they've got marketing on the internet that you can Google the job or the type of work you're doing or type of business and find out who are these people that have been doing it a long time, doing it really well, have grown their businesses to the point they wanted to be, and what we would call they have become the big kahuna. That's the person that does it best, writes her own rules almost, has 100% stability. You want to try to become the big kahuna. And the best way to do it is we don't have to reinvent the wheel. When there's so many people out there, we can just see how they do it and see how we can take the things that they're doing and copy them or apply them to our situation and go for it. Now, we are not miracle workers, but we are smart enough to go see people who do it right and pick up from their skills and their methods so that we can apply it and help us one day become the big kahuna. It's a real nice thing to do. Because the big kahuna is the person out there that outsmarts, outmarkets, outsells, offers better customer service, dodges bullets all the time, and every day, year after year, they remain the best in the business because they indeed know how to do it best. I'm happy to say, and make no qualms about it because I'm proud of it, that in a lot of different types of fields of business, I have become the big kahuna in a few things, like the sales of certain tractor models, certain backhoes, certain forklifts through the years, certain types of mowers. Yeah, I can't say that I'm the biggest person in the whole wide world, but I can say my little business sells a lot of stuff and more than most other people do it, and you earn the respect of your customers and your competitors. Also, they might call you some bad names because you've outsold them a lot of times, but at any rate, becoming the big kahuna is not a hard thing to do, but it's an exciting thing to do, and one that your market will recognize you. When the other competitors are talking about you, that means they're sending people to you. They're sending people to you. When you have made a splash in the market, when you have kept fresh bait in the water to the point that your competitors can't figure out how to bait their hooks like you do, then you're winning the game the right way. And the marketing strategies we'll talk about will help you do that, take pleasure in it. You know, intelligence is hard to find sometimes. And in the circles that we live with, the folks that we eat lunch with or breakfast and maybe sit around our table at home sometimes, our friends, maybe at church or maybe at the club, wherever it is you have friends, maybe they're not really good business people, but they like to talk a lot. In the Coast Guard, in the service, we call them sea lawyers, people that know a little bit about everything and talk about it like they're experts. Well, I want to tell you, I am not an expert. I'm good at what I do, and I know the things I know, but there's a lot I don't know. And when you ask me a question that I don't know the answer to that I think is a valid answer, I'll tell you, I don't know. But there's some people that love to hear their voice so much, they'll tell you whatever comes out of their lips. You want to be real careful around those. Those are the kind of folks that you probably want to have less communication with, and find people that have some business sense and start to associate with them. Don't be afraid to ask folks and earn a confidence level that you can start sharing. Learn to have some one-on-one discussions. You don't have to have a whole group to have dinner with or lunch with. Ask someone, can we just sit over here and eat and talk? I got some questions I need to ask you. Once you show these people that are good at what they're doing, that can make good mentors for you, they will take what you're saying very seriously and do all they can to help you. I do that. I do that several times a week with folks. And it's encouraging for me because I get more fulfillment by helping you guys than I do any other way. So I want to share with you. And I want you to find other people that you can do it. Kind of steer away from the people that you already know in your heart are probably not giving you very good advice, or not encouraging you. So find those advisors that can help you. I'll be glad to do all I can do the next few weeks as long as you hang with us. And after this series is over, you're welcome to come back year after year. After we get started, after this first session, you'll see we'll have a lot of repeat folks that come back from time to time. Your competition is going to be important, so if you know what you're going to be doing, then go ahead right now and start looking for who is going to be your strongest competition. And look at their ads, look for them on social media. Let's start figuring out what they do really well, and then look at what they don't do so well, because that's the place that we're going to outshine them and start taking some customers away from them. We're moving towards the close now, kind of close to the end of the session. The most dangerous threat that you will have as we start this journey together is the most dangerous threat that you're going to have, the most serious competition is fighting distractions. we've all got a lot of distractions in our life. I dealt with them all day today and really had to stay on target to be ready to give this webinar tonight. And I want to encourage y'all to do it. And the way that you fight distractions is to set priorities, things that you want to accomplish each day, and go ahead and go for it and fight every time you can to try to get what you got to get done. I like to say every morning when I wake up, I pick out the 3 things that I need to get done before lunch. And every time the phone rings or someone comes in and wants to be long-winded or this and that, I am constantly thinking about before lunch, I need to get these 3 things done or I won't ever get them done. And it works. It really works. Sometimes I don't eat lunch till 3 o'clock, but I'll make myself a promise. You might want to give that a try. Several folks have said it works really well for them as best too. What can you do to stay in business for the long haul? You don't want to start a business and it goes down in 6 months like so many do. Being sustainable is a serious market. So what I've talked about tonight and what we'll be talking about for the next 7 weeks is getting these profit centers, marketing program, business plan, mission statements, kind of put them in order, get some marketing going on, learn how to do some videos. Step by step, we'll do it each week, step by step. And at the end of the time, just like Vanessa showed us in our, when we started off tonight, if you apply these things, your business will start growing and you'll see the benefits of it. And then we're going to learn to follow up with our customers, and that's what it's all about. Naming the business and DBAs are going to be very, very important for you. DBAs are doing business as, and that's an important part of our marketing campaign because you want to name your profit centers in such ways to help customers find them to help keep that fresh bait in the water. So very important to learn the DBAs, and we'll spend a lot of time on that. Do you want a business plan? Maybe you don't, but you need one. And a business plan that we're going to work on next week is going to be all about guessing. It's going to be all about estimating, but it's also going to be all about putting a structure in place to go forward from. And that structure is that small foundation that we all need to build on and go forward from. A business plan is not just something you write one time. We're rewriting it all the time. So it's just that thing that you use to get started, to guide you so that we can help, hopefully send this business where your goals are and make the money that you need to do it. Do you need a planner? You do, and we'll provide one to you next week that you'll be able to put meat and potatoes right into it and get your business up and running. I'll tell you that I'm going to teach you as we get into week 3, marketing and selling, that I don't want you to give discounts. Except I don't want you to give discounts that you didn't plan to give. And this is all about how to price your products. And pricing is so important, how to do discounts that'll make you more sales instead of less sales. So we're going to wrap it up now. We're almost out of time. I appreciate you staying with us all this time. I hope that you're getting the sense that I am a very competitive person. I want to make money, and I want you to make money, enough more money than your expenses, so you can stay in business. But you know what? We're going to do it the right way. We're going to have the right principles, and we're going to keep our principles ahead of our profits. Because what you don't want to do is to get started out with lower standards, take it any way you can get it. No, we're going to try to do it right, make money a good way, make a reasonable profit. We want customers to feel good about giving us their money because they don't trust us to be here for the long run. Our mission, vision, and promise statements are going to help them know that for sure. So we're going to be very, very best to make sure that our family and our community remains proud of you and that you'll have a legacy of being a giver, someone that gives of yourself and of your company and not a taker. So at the end of the day, you will become a very beneficial asset to your family, and create a legacy for yourself that you'll be proud of and that your family will be proud of as well. Wrapping it up, I got this from my pastor down at Elizabethtown, Jason Williams, who did a sermon a few months ago called Endurance, and I've used it ever since. We got to have endurance to finish strong. Getting started is fairly easy sometimes, but finishing is a challenge. So there's 4 different things we're going to do. First of all, pace ourselves. I want you to get serious about this, but move at a speed that you feel good about so you can hang in there, but pace yourself by establishing the right priorities. We're going to humble ourselves. We're going to be learning a lot. And you just don't have to say, hey, I don't know as much of this as I want to know, or maybe Steve's got a different idea that maybe I ought to listen to and weigh it against what I think. None of us know all there is to know. And why? Because things are changing every day. Every day we need to learn new things. So we have to be humble to accept that, not only with our business, but with our customers. We need to find the inspiration that it takes to keep breathing and keep smiling and keep at it. Lord have mercy, it's hard to do sometimes. So wherever you find your inspiration in music or a friend or in reading or in prayer and talking with Jesus and whatever your religion is, where you feel better after you had your experience, use your inspirational time in ways to do it, because entrepreneurs need that. We need to keep our battery charged. Pacing ourselves and finding inspiration helps us pace ourselves every Sunday. I basically have to say to myself, I need to find that couple hours that I can charge a little bit and think positive thoughts and kind of put on some rose-colored sunglasses to make things a little bit easier to endure. I need to drop a few pounds. Maybe you do too, but dropping a few pounds is all a part of endurance. But I'm not necessarily talking about weight here. I'm talking about dropping a few pounds of ignorance, of stubbornness, of procrastination. Maybe we need to drop a few friends that are heading us in the wrong direction and add some friends that will head us in the right direction. Look at the things that maybe we need to drop a few pounds of and replace them with things that will help us go in the right direction. And then all this is about focusing on the finish line, getting to the end of this month, getting to the end of next year. Your finish line may not be out 30 years from now. Your finish line may be, I just want to stay in get in business before a certain date. So establish your finish lines, and we'll work on that a little bit next week, what your timelines are, and then move forward as an entrepreneur. So congratulations. Thank you all for staying with me all through the program tonight. I appreciate you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, I'll promise with you to give you my very best for the next 14 weeks, actually, and I hope that you can join us. Tell your friends to join us as well. I'll be giving this same program tomorrow night on Thursday nights, and then next Tuesday we'll start it back. So if you miss a program or you have a friend, you can tell them to join in. You can share with them the log-on information. Our log-on information will always be the same that you used tonight. So just keep up with that, and it'll be easy for you to join back in. Thank you all so very much, and you're welcome to turn your mics on if you like, and we'll hear any comments that you have or say good night.
Thank you, Steve. Good night.
Well, good night to you. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This was great. Have a great evening.
All right. I hope I'll see you soon, and I hope you have a good weekend.
Thank you. It was good, Steve.
Well, thank you, Casey. It was good to have you with us tonight. And I'll make sure I send you all the handouts if you let me know in the chat board.
Good afternoon, Mr. Carver. This is Valerie. Thank you so much.
Hey, Valerie, thank you. And thank you for that Wilmington Visitor's Guide. I'm looking forward to reading into that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good night.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Steve. Good night.
You're very welcome. Send me any emails or questions or anything else that you have, and we'll be glad to help you any way we can. God bless you and your family, and I hope to see you again in the conference real soon. Bye-bye.